so happy to see you in my very first video on YouTube. And today we are gonna discuss about how I was able to get 7 from IELTS. Hopefully it was seen. Here it is. So we're gonna talk about how all my subtests, all my scores, how much time it did take me to prepare, what kind of sources I used, what kind of advice I can give you, and so on. So let's get started. Well, first thing is listening here, and from listening, I was able to get 8.0, which was pretty much okay, yes. Well, how did I prepare for this very subtest? For sure, as everyone does, I made a practice test, but the thing is, the way how you do those practice tests. Some just do concentrate on their mistakes, some just keep doing more and more tests without realizing where they are actually are mistaken. But in my case, I did in completely another way. Well, I used to make one or two mistakes in every single section. Yes, from 10, 8, from 10, 8 in all, especially in second and third section. And what my teacher advised me was really something valuable. Once you sit and do one practice test, 40 questions, and then you should not rush at all to do another test. Like, for example, if you are doing test 1, then you are going to test 2. No, just sit and erase all the answers you have written, or just print another on another sheet of paper that very test, and then do it again. Just not after that, but you can do that after a day, after an hour, when your mind has already forgotten everything related to that test, so that you won't remember any answers. This helps a lot. And another thing is, I used to watch a lot of movies and TV shows. For example, I have passion for cooking, and I used to watch how to make pie, how to make cakes, how to bake things, kind of things like this. Because I have passion for this, do not I only enjoy watching them, but I brush up my listening skills as well. So if you are forced to watch kind of movie or just documentaries by your teacher, just do not consider watching video something as bad and boring. You have other options as well, as everyone has YouTube or just Netflix maybe. There you can find anything which would suit to your interest. Yes, this was for listening, and I think it was pretty clear. By doing this, for sure you can get 8 and higher. So now let's move to reading part. From reading, I was able to get 7. Yeah, it was not that much satisfying for me, but this is what I deserved maybe. So yeah, for reading, I consider that I used to read science fiction a lot because I love reading them, like small stories or just novels. And then for sure I did like test, then vocabulary, test vocabulary, and do do know that writing analysis for your reading is also important, as you get to see the key points there. In every question and every sentence, you have to realize what is matching to each other to find the missing word, to find the missing answer, something like that. But what I think that made my score a bit lower is the lack of reading articles. As you know, the way articles are written and the way the looks like the passage is completely the same. Maybe it might differ from each other, but in small extent. So do know that reading a lot of articles is important. Since I didn't do that a lot, I think that kind of affected to my score. Therefore, try to read articles on different topics. As you see the structure, how it's written, you get to see what kind they do use more kind of complex words compared to just science fiction books. So it's really important to do that. Yes, for reading, I would say this one, but every day keep reading all the time. And do you consider that everything is completely the same as Cambridge books in your exam? It will be the same. So if you are just trying using other books before your exam, but when you have only a month left till your exam, try to mostly concentrate on the Cambridge books, and from the passage do always learn vocabulary, because even if you do not learn words from your article or the book you are reading, but the words from your passage are crucially important. And do not translate them ever never to your own native language, I mean language one. It's better to translate words not just to your the language your own native, but writing definition is something would be awesome, because you get to see the meaning of that in that English language, but with a much more easier words, and it's something really cool to do. I think this was that can be enough for reading, because I didn't get that much high score to talk a lot about this subtest. So yes, it's enough for reading. Well, time for writing. Well, from writing, I could get 6.0, which wasn't that much satisfying or what I was expecting, say, since I could finish both of the tasks on time. I wrote more than 150 words to the task 1, more than 250 to task 2, and for the task 1 I had map, which was pretty cool for me. I liked it. I like it still. Map and process are much more easier compared to the other types like line graph, bar chart, pie chart, everything. Yes. And for task 2 I had discussion. I To be honest, I cannot remember the topic itself, since my exam was on August 20th and I'm just taking the video on December. Just now I was able to make my time to do that. Yes. I think I'm not gonna talk a lot for writing, since my subtest is not that much high itself, as you have heard. But what I have realized after taking my exam is, for writing, just writing is not enough. Yes, for listening is enough. For reading is enough. But for writing, it's not enough. Because to write something, to produce something interesting and meaningful, something quality, you should have here. For that, you should read, you should gather information towards some topic, further information to make the way of writing more clear and interesting, to keep the examiner curious about the point you are trying to make by writing that body paragraph. And therefore, just do consider that before writing one topic, try to read some articles related to that, and for sure you will be able to produce something cool. I think this can be enough for writing. Yeah. Oh yeah, so now time for speaking. And even it's kind of for me weird to tell my score from writing. Okay, I think you just have to guess it. Just, I'm not gonna say my speaking score, just please evaluate the way I'm talking right now and write in the comment section. Yes. So, but the thing which I've learned from my speaking test, that part 3 is by far the most part in your test. Do not just underestimate part 3 when you are just considering part 1 and part 2, because the most challenging topics, the most challenging part of your test is part 3, as questions are difficult themselves as well. The examiner tries to kind of make your score lower by part 3 if you try to fail answering the proper way, as you did in part 1 and part 2, which happened in my case as well. Yeah, For speaking, I used to record my voice every day. Maybe if I didn't record it, I used to talk to myself when I was going to my English club, when I was just going to school. You know what I did? I used to make my phone, I used to take my phone and hold it this way as if I'm talking with somebody, but I just kept doing this and talk to myself in English how my day was, what I'm planning, or just the topic I liked about my books, about the my life, my future, everything. Just I kept talking English. But one mistake I think which I did and I do regret a lot about that is I did underestimate part 3 and I considered a lot about part 1, part 2. In part 3, she challenged me a lot and this was how I was supposed to get. Yes. And yes, this was my journey for IELTS. Journey, English, not English but IELTS itself. So by doing this, I got my overall 7. And if you are a citizen of Uzbekistan, for sure you should know that your money is given back. And I got that, thanks God. I think this should be enough for today. So happy, so feel elated that you watched this video till the end. Please now do consider subscribing to my channel and putting thumbs up as I tried my best. And please, 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 please share this as this will be the best support and inspiration for me to keep making videos on YouTube. So see you soon in my other videos. Bye.